sometimes find like, what is my place out here? Which a lot of you might be questioning as well. And it's a very important space. And that's why I think we all are connected. And one thing that connects all of us through life is experience, our own experiences. And what experience teaches us is truly the value of an opportunity. An opportunity. I just want you all to think, before you were not wearing suits, you know, when you've just come to America, or me trying to make my first break film. In fact, the gentleman who gave me my first break is right here, Rajiv Rai. He gave me Charish from Mohabbat. Okay, and he knows how much I was struggling at that point in time to get that first break and to get that opportunity. And you all know what it felt like when you all waited for hours and months and years, you know, saying, "Hey, yaar, give me that break." You went to temples or went to mosques and, you know, kept mannats and, you know, fasts and everything and said, "Let me get that break." And when that break came and an opportunity showed itself to you, you grabbed it by the neck, and what did you do? You created more opportunity. More opportunity for yourself, more opportunity for your families, more opportunity for your businesses, and you grew, and growth is great. And now you create more opportunities for others. And I think that is the best space to be in, when you are in a space to give. And that's why we are here today. You know, Cry is here today to help us give an opportunity to a lot of children out there. There are 80 million children in India who are out of school. There are 30 million children in India who are forced into child labor. There are 12.3 million children in India who are forced into child marriage or into the sex trade. And being parents, I want you to do one thing, is just close your eyes for a second and visualize one of your kids as those kids. I think we all need to give those children that one hand, that helping hand, bring them up here, you know, and give them that opportunity that they're looking for.
It is my pleasure to welcome the very handsome Arjun Rampal here in Anaheim. Great to see you. You're here for Cry. What a wonderful event you just did.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here, and let's recreate a little bit of that event that you just spoke through your heart. You moved me and the entire audience. You talked about underprivileged children.
I spoke from my heart, as you said. So,
yeah.
Cry is a wonderful organization. I remember for a long time, you know, even when I used to go and buy a Valentine's card, or if I bought a card for my mom on Mother's Day, or you know, a birthday card, somehow it was always instilled in us to go and buy a Cry card because it was going to make a difference. And nobody knew 30 years ago when Cry was actually established. I remember my dad used to buy a Cry card, mom used to buy one, and it was kind of in the family, and it kind of grew and it kept growing, but I didn't know what Cry was about. You know, it's children rights and you. That's what the full form of it is. You being, of course, the donor, and the children rights, what at that point in time also I did not understand what it was. And yes, when you become a parent and you, as you were correctly saying, you know, you live abroad. When you come to India, you have to kind of, you know, sensitize yourself towards what's really happening and what you're seeing, and you kind of take it in your stride. I think most Indians end up doing that too. You know, you see people on the streets living in horrible conditions, and you think that's the way it is, but it's not. It's not the way it's meant to be. It's not right. And when I was approached by Cry to be one of their supporters, I said, wow, you know, from that point where I was buying that card to now, you know, I must have done something, or whatever I have achieved so far in my life, it helps me to kind of give back, you know, and make it a full circle. It helps me to feel a sense of gratitude, which I think we all want to have. It's the best emotion in the world to have, and for doing really not much. I'm just leading my life the way I lead my life. It's not that I'm a saint or you know, a very active activist or a grassroots worker, but yes, by coming here today, you know, and having a certain amount of power to attract people, people who are, doing well in life, people who are generous and like-minded, and those who are not even that like-minded, who maybe just came out for a nice dinner, with a celebrity, ended up learning about what's going on. And those videos that you saw, the way what Cry put out there, about the children, about the schools, the healthcare, the sex trade that goes on with little children, the child marriages. I think as a parent, if you can just visualize your child being there, it kind of, you won't be able to sleep at night. So it's good if we can, in our small little ways, keep, like they say, every drop fills the ocean. There's a huge void out there. There are lots of kids, 80 million children who don't go to school, 30 million who are forced into child labor, 12.3 who are forced into child marriage or, the sex trade. If we need to do something about it. If we don't do anything about it, you're pushing these children who are supposed to be happy, who are supposed to become individuals, who are supposed to, like how our children are, try by giving them good education, good health, good upbringing, good exposure to good things in life. You will push these people into a dark space. That dark space is going to come back and bite you as a society because you have been irresponsible. So I think that little bit of responsibility we all need to take, and I'm glad that I could take it today.
Yeah, very, very beautifully said. So tell me, on a spiritual level, how did it change you spiritually as a human being when your eldest daughter was born?
Well, again, you feel the sense of gratitude, it's like a miracle. I remember the only thought that was going through my mind when Mahika was being born, and I was only praying for, again, was for her just to be healthy, that's it.
Yeah.
And that was the most important thing. Then I believe spiritually, I meditate, I believe quite a spiritual person. I believe that we all are just souls. We all come from one place, and which is this space of great energy and light. And so I don't believe in religions. I don't believe in color, caste, creed, none of that. I believe that we all are souls, and every soul is born with innate qualities of love, peace, happiness, purity, power, knowledge, blissfulness, happiness. And that's what we all deserve to be. When you have a baby that is born, why do you like that baby so much? Because it's the epitome of purity. And we then become an acquired being. Like, who are you? I'm Arjun Rampal. What do you do? I'm an actor, and what else do you do? So, okay, I have a restaurant, I have 2 daughters, I, like to do certain things, and that becomes your acquired being, which is your physical state. When we kind of take more and more for our physical state and kind of kill the soul, which is your innate qualities, and that's when you start looking for meditation and different forms to go into to finding that realization. Things like this, things like birth of your children, or trying to do something selflessly for others, creates an awakening within that soul again, is food for that soul. And so I believe that the soul is the driver, this is our costume, or the soul is the actor, this is our costume, and this is just temporary, but the soul will live on.
Wow, that is so beautifully said. And your soul is beautiful, and the outer costume is pretty darn good looking as well. You charmed so many women today, and they donated generously. That was so cute to see.
They wanted lots in return.
I know. I saw that, and you were so generous with the love. But on a lighter note, let's switch back to your work. You have a couple of movies coming out. I saw the trailer of Daddy.
Yes.
It seems like a fantastic film. Tell me all about it.
So yeah, Daddy is a film which is my first biopic. It's a true story, first true story that I've worked on. It's a story that I've also produced and written. And there's my director Oshim Aluwalia, who's just one of, I think, going to be one of the finest finds and directors that India has seen. He works on a very, very international level. So it's a film on Arun Gawli, who came from Dagdi Chaul. Dagdi Chaul was basically the quarters for the mill workers when there were mills in the 70s. And in the late 70s, unions came out, the mills went on strike, and a lot of people were unemployed. And that's why I thought it was the right space to show this in, because I showed that when an opportunity is taken away, what happens? What are the repercussions of it? The repercussions of this was that the underbelly of the underworld started to grow because there was unemployment. I think anybody who's got a full stomach and has got a job and can send their children to school, and no one is starving, and there's light and electricity in their homes, and they're just, the basic necessities are taken care of, no one's going to pick up a gun.
Right.
But these people picked up guns because they didn't have choices. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't endorse it, but it's interesting to go through it. Why was he called Daddy is what really, really got me, because usually when you speak about, if it's The Godfather or Scarface or Goodfellas or Sarkar or Company or Satya or any of these great gangster films that were made, if you look at them, everybody's called a Bhai or a Don or Don Corleone, and you're like that, and but no one has ever called a Don or a gangster Daddy.
Right.
So that kind of really got to me, and I think that it was called that because of the way he was giving back also to society. This film is not propaganda, it is not about that, we hardly actually even touch that phase. But it is such an interesting life that this man has had, which I've said, okay, we send somebody to jail to reform, but when they serve their time and their sentence, and even when they come out, do we actually forgive them or we don't? Mm-hmm. Do we forget their past or we don't? And even after that, when they prove themselves, do we really believe them or we don't? These are opinions you will make once you watch that film. And so it's layered on many levels, but it also kind of shows you the history of Mumbai, the change of the skyline on Mumbai, how it all happened.
I know you have had a lot of highs in your career. They say Dawn was probably the turning point in your career. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think Dawn, yes, but I think the real turning point really came with Om Shanti Om. Because that was truly a challenging part to do. And then there was this movie I called The Last Layer, and then came Rock On. So it all happened kind of simultaneously, and yes, as you said, I've had highs in my career, I've also had many lows in my career, and that's how it is. That's how our industry is. You have to go high and low and high and low, but you don't give up like anything else in life. You keep going at it, you keep having belief in yourself, and most importantly, the belief that your fans have in you. And that really keeps you going. And I'd really like to thank all of them, whoever's watching, for all their support. And now with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I read all your comments, and it really, really does keep me going.
Very nice. And you have a lot of other likes as well. A lot of people may not know, but you are very passionate about DJing. Is that true?
Love it. Yeah, I love DJing. But I don't play Bollywood music. That's why many people don't.
So what kind of music do you play?
I play deep house and tech house, and I like that kind of stuff. I just play for fun. I had a club, and now I'm reopening another one, and so I really like electronica music. I don't know why I like it, but I do like it.
And then another thing is you're the owner of the Delhi Heroes. I was telling you earlier, my cousin happens to be your captain, Jason. Small world. He's
I know I can see the similarity actually.
You can? Oh no, please don't say that. He's a naughty kid.
I think you're quite naughty too.
Oh, really?
So, so Delhi Heroes. I'm one of the co-owners of the team. MMA, I think, is a fantastic sport.
New in India?
New in India, but I think it'll grow really, really fast. I mean, Jason and all the fighters out there are fantastic. I love physical fitness, and the kind of training they all do is very, very special. You know, it's mixed martial arts, so you learn so many different kinds of things. It's also very holistic in its approach, because you have to be, you know, in quite a meditative, focused, calm state to do so much damage. So it's a very deadly combination. What really excites me about it is the prospect of opening gyms, which will help train a lot of people in self-defense through MMA, but at the same time keep them calm. We're not going to throw them into cages to fight. And one of the big things also through that would be to train a lot of women for self-defense.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you have your plate full, obviously. You've been very generous with your time. In conclusion, what can we look forward to, other than all that stuff?
Well, right now, just look forward to Daddy on the 21st of July. Go
Sounds
and watch
good.
it and give it lots of love. And I hope I can keep entertaining you all for a long time.
I am at Tandoori Gardens, where a very successful Cry event just took place, and I'm here with Percy Presswala, who's one of the organizers. First of all, congratulations for a great event.
Thank you very much.
So tell me, how did you get involved with Cry?
Well, I've always liked to volunteer with children. When I was in Canada, I used to be a part of Scouts Canada. And when I came to California around 10 years ago, I had heard of Cry when I was in India, and I saw one of the Cry events taking place, and I just reached out to them. That was in Los Angeles. And since then, for 4 years ago, and now I'm here, started a new chapter in Orange County last year with a Holi event. We had a successful walkathon, and for the first time, we decided to do a gala dinner event, and Arjun Rampal was here, and we had a great time.
Absolutely, I was there, and he was a wonderful guest. And wow, you raised almost or over $40,000, if I'm correct.
Actually, it's close to $60,000.
Wow, well, yay! That's such a wonderful feeling, I'm sure, for all those beautiful kids who deserve it.
Definitely. I mean, I always feel that my children are so privileged growing up in this country, and knowing so much that there is so much poverty and opportunities are not available, and kids not only don't have a square meal to eat, but they don't have school to go to, they don't have proper drinking water. And it feels so good to be able to do something to elevate these kids from a level of poverty, from nothingness to something. And I have actually visited one of those projects in Ahmednagar, and it was really heartening to see how those kids flourish as a result of our efforts that we do over here.
First of all, congratulations for a very successful show. This was fantastic.
Thank you so much. It was exciting for all of us. It was our very first Cry dinner in Orange County / LA. We had a good crowd of over 100 people. I think we crossed our target of 50,000 and maybe raised nearly 70K. We had showcased our projects, and we are thrilled to have this kind of support in Los Angeles.
And am I correct that you've been involved with Cry for 25 years?
That is correct. 25 years in India and the US, and yes, and in these years in the US, we have set up Cry America. We have about 25,000 donors and 2,000 volunteers that have gone way beyond being generous and committed to enable us to support over 70 projects and 660,000 children in India.
Edward, how did you get involved with Cry?
So I went to one such event. It was a cultural event where they showcased what Cry does, and this was in San Diego. So right after that, and I had to be part of that organization, and I signed up to be a volunteer. And we started off as a volunteer, and then I took the leadership of the Action Center in San Diego, and then over time I handed off that leadership, and now I'm part of the board of Cry America.
Obviously, you've seen Cry grow and flourish over 25 years. What is your vision for Cry for the next 25 years?
the number of children that we have in India, we're talking like large numbers. There's a lot for us to do. We have millions of children in India that need support, and it is people like us who have to kind of raise our voices, to bring these, to highlight these issues, to amplify these issues, raise resources, and then support efforts back in India that are really changing the lives of children in the communities along with the government.
Absolutely, and kudos for such a wonderful job that you guys are doing. Tell me, Anwar, what would you say to people? How fulfilling is this for you, and why should other people get involved?
So I strongly believe that children are our future, and this is a cause that I identify with very much. And when I look at every child, my own child, I look back at the children who do not have the same opportunity, and to know that I'm doing what I can to make that difference in spite of my day job as a volunteer, and not only as myself, but also motivating and encouraging other volunteers to do what they can do, so that we can do what we can to give those children a chance, so that they can build a brighter, bigger future for this world. That's absolutely the reward that I get out of this.
And Shefali, tell everyone how can they get involved and donate.
Thank you, Showbiz. You've been extremely supportive of CRY. We need media houses to support us. It is only through the media that we can reach out to larger numbers of people. We have 3 chapters in San Diego, Los Angeles, Orange County, and in Bay Area. Please join us. Join us as volunteers or donate. Your time, your money, your concern is all what we need. Visit www.america.cry.org to support us.